I'm Zahir, Kelvin Abdullah, and this is Nightline. The top stories. PM calls for stronger federal-state cooperation to accelerate development in the interests of the people. An uneasy calm after India-Pakistan ceasefire gets off to shaky start. Good morning. The fragile ceasefire between India and Pakistan appeared to be holding on Sunday, despite earlier violations that threatened to derail the US-brokered agreement. Explosions were reported in Indian-administered Kashmir hours after the truce was announced on Saturday, with both sides accusing each other of breaching the deal. By dawn, the fighting had subsided and power was restored in most border areas. Officials in Pakistan confirmed some overnight firing in Bimber, but reported no casualties. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump praised the leaders of both countries for agreeing to halt the aggression. He also offered to work with both nations to find a solution to the long-standing Kashmir dispute. However, despite the truce, tensions remain high, with both sides maintaining a military presence along the line of control. Civilians in border areas continue to stay in temporary shelters, fearing further escalation, while the international community has welcomed the ceasefire, urging both nations to engage in dialogue to resolve their differences peacefully. On the home front, the Prime Minister has emphasized that state governments should not be at odds with the federal government, but instead must strengthen cooperation and mutual understanding in the interests of the people and the development of their respective states. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said that progress, whether in Peninsular Malaysia, Sarawak or Sabah, cannot be achieved without unity and consensus. Anwar noted that Sabah has the potential to become a developed state provided there is strong cooperation between the federal and state governments, which would in turn ensure the welfare of the people is safeguarded.
Jadi saya harap rakan-rakan faham ini. Benar kekuatan kita. Kita mau kerajaan persekutuan yang kuat. Betul. Terima kasih rakan-rakan di Sabah. Tapi kita mau juga kerajaan Sabah yang kuat. Kita mau pimpinan yang tegas di persekutuan. Dan kita mau pimpinan yang boleh mampu dan bekerja sama dengan kerajaan persekutuan untuk selesaikan masalah-masalah rakyat.
Anwar made the remarks during his speech at the closing ceremony of the state-level Madani Rakyat 2025 program in Tawau on Sunday. He also dismissed allegations that Sabah has been sidelined by the federal government, stressing instead that various development projects have been implemented in the state. The Prime Minister also highlighted that Putrajaya has implemented 144 development projects in the state to date, with a total allocation of 14 billion ringgit. These include upgrading works at Tawau Hospital and Lahad Datu Prison, the construction of a container port at Sepangga Bay, and a proposed heart specialist medical centre in Kota Kinabalu. At the same time, Anwar also launched the nationwide Madani Solar program aimed at providing electricity to rural villages, involving an allocation of over 350 million ringgit. The pilot project has already commenced in Tawau with the installation of 40 solar-powered streetlights. Meanwhile, Anwar expressed optimism that Pakatan Harapan PH, Barisan Nasional BN and Gabungan Rakyat Sabah GRS will formalize their collaboration in facing the upcoming 17th Sabah state election, even though the matter is still being discussed and yet to be finalized. He also said that PH has given GRS Chairman Datuk Seri Hajiji Noor its full support to lead discussions on the election pact between the three political coalitions.
Saya boleh bercakap bagi pihak PH dan saya optimis kerana saya telah menggunakan perbincangan dan saya lihat sikap Datuk Seri Hajiji yang sangat positif. Sementara itu kita juga bincang dengan BN dan mereka mengambil sikap yang sama. Soal selebih daripada itu terpulang pada yang lain untuk undi.
The Prime Minister, who is also PH chairman, clarified that the previous statement on the cooperation between PH and BN was only at the level of the two parties and did not involve GRS. Anwar said this to reporters after meeting state PKR leaders at Tawau Airport on Sunday. On Friday, PH and BN jointly announced their collaboration for the Sabah state election. Following the announcement, Hajiji, who is also Sabah's chief minister, said GRS is prepared to contest the election independently. UMNO must rise to the occasion and become the party of the future in order to ensure its continued relevance in Malaysia's evolving political landscape. UMNO President Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said the changing political dynamics require the party to adopt a more pragmatic approach aligned with current realities. He was addressing about 1,000 delegates during UMNO's 79th anniversary celebration on Sunday. Ahmad Zahid highlighted UMNO's historical role in nation building but cautioned that the party can no longer rely solely on its past narrative.
Kita mesti melangkah ke medan perang dengan naratif yang lebih segar, komunikasi yang lebih strategik dan gerak kerja yang lebih tajam, lebih tuntas, malah lebih berani.
He also unveiled 3 new approaches to reinvigorate UMNO's appeal, namely a focus on the politics of solutions, the politics of legacy, and the politics of moderation. During the event, Ahmad Zahid also presented graduation certificates to 48 students from the UMNO Patriotic School, SPU. Meanwhile, according to UMNO Deputy President Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan, UMNO's founding history has proven the party's ability to deliver the best for the people. He emphasized that strengthening UMNO must go beyond the leadership level and instead begin at the grassroots.
Sekarang ini adalah proses untuk kita bangkit semula memperkasakan UMNO. Nak memperkasakan UMNO itu senang saja, ya? Kerana kita boleh lihat contoh-contoh macam mana parti ini dulu kuat kerana tidak adanya persengketaan.
Kita kena wujudkan banyak vehikel seperti mana patriotik, putra dan sebagainya sebab dia politik ini sangat progresif, sangat dinamik. Jadi bila progresif dinamik, kita pun kena progresif dinamik dan kita perlu bagi tahu kepada rakyat, pengundi kita apa yang telah kita buat supaya mesej ataupun perjuangan kita ini sampai kepada rakyat.
Memerdekakan negara 68 tahun, memerintah 61 tahun, sekarang berumur 79 tahun, maka kita kena tengok banyak sejarah-sejarah yang menunjukkan bahawa ada benda yang perlu kita lihat dan mencari satu perubahan yang besar untuk memastikan parti ini akan terus relevan pada masa akan datang.
Mild tremors were reported in several states along Malaysia's west coast following a 5.9 magnitude earthquake that struck North Sumatra on Sunday evening. The quake occurred at approximately 4:57 p.m. and was felt in parts of Pulau Pinang, Kedah and Perak, particularly in high-rise buildings. In Pulau Pinang, residents on the island were among those who felt the tremors. The Fire and Rescue Department received 2 distress calls related to the incident, one from Taman Selatan in Jelutong and another from a hotel in Georgetown.
Bapa anak saya kata, suami saya kata macam ada gegaran. Lepas tu tengok tu kat dekat hall tu memang ceiling kipas tu gerak. Lepas tu dalam 2 minit macam tu macam pening dah, saya bawa anak-anak saya turun datang ke bawah.
Isu kita di kawasan Jelutong ni kesan dia tidak terlalu banyak tapi kemungkinan ada rasa gegarannya sikit tapi namun alhamdulillah kita bersyukur setakat ni semuanya terkawal.
Authorities have since carried out inspections at all reported locations and confirmed that the buildings are structurally safe with no visible damage. The Meteorological Department, Met Malaysia, said the northern Sumatra quake occurred at a depth of 74 kilometers. The department confirmed no tsunami threat to Malaysia and said it will continue to monitor the situation. The training module for the National Service Training Program, PLKN 3.0 Series 2 this year, will be retained with minor enhancements. National Service Training Department Director General, Major General Datuk Yaakob Samiran said the improvements involve more practical-based training components. The training, which kicked off on Sunday, is being conducted simultaneously at two locations, the 515th Territorial Army Regiment Camp in Kuala Lumpur for female trainees and the 505th Territorial Army Regiment Camp in Pekan Pahang for male trainees.
Modul latihannya setelah kita buat penambahbaikannya, kita juga mesti menggunakan benda yang sama lah. Modul yang sama, cuma ada sedikit penambahbaikan. Dari segi melaksanakannya, terutamanya berbentuk amali.
Yaakob said this to reporters after observing the registration of female trainees at the camp in Kuala Lumpur on Sunday. He added that his department would allow those unable to report for training to do so in the near future, recognizing that some may be facing logistical and transportation constraints. This second series of the program will run for 45 days, ending on June 24th. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim and Raja Permaisuri Agong Raja Zahir Sofia have extended their heartfelt Mother's Day wishes to all mothers. The King also conveyed a special Mother's Day tribute to the Queen. In a post on His Majesty's official Facebook page, Sultan Ibrahim emphasized that a mother's sacrifices and devotion deserve to be honored not only on a specific day, but every single day. His Majesty further expressed gratitude to Allah for blessing him with a devoted wife who has shown unwavering love and made immense sacrifices in raising their children. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim also paid tribute to all mothers, describing them as the central pillar in shaping a dignified and compassionate future generation. In a post on his official Facebook account, Anwar highlighted that mothers are the foundation of exemplary and civilized families and societies. He further noted that a mother is not merely the queen of the household, but the very backbone in nurturing and shaping future generations who are virtuous, knowledgeable, and prepared to lead with compassion, dedication, and love. The results of a survey carried out in conjunction with last year's Mother's Day celebration reveal that 9 out of 10 mothers believe parenting has become significantly more challenging in today's world. Among the top concerns cited were financial constraints, work and family pressures, and a lack of personal time.
Di sebalik pencapaian negara, masih ramai ibu yang menghadapi cabaran yang tidak kelihatan di mata kasar, terutamanya ibu muda yang berumur di bawah 34 tahun yang merangkumi 1/3 wanita Malaysia.
Speaking at the National Mother's Day celebration in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, the minister emphasized that while young mothers have great potential, they continue to need strong, holistic support from all sectors of society. She also highlighted the National Women's Policy 2025-2030, which focuses on empowering mothers through targeted training and access to suitable job opportunities, particularly for single and unemployed women. At the event, actress and singer Bella Astila was named recipient of the Young Mother Icon Award, which was presented by Tok Puan Farida Tusin, wife of the Yang di-Pertuan Negeri of Sabah. Subsidized diesel worth 13 million ringgit seized. This and more after the break.
Anda usahawan, pemilik bisnes atau produk? Jom ke Media Prima SME Open Day 14 dan 15 Mei ini. Temui personaliti Media Prima, pakar industri untuk tips menarik bagi meningkatkan bisnes anda ke tahap lebih tinggi melalui platform kami. Serta alami sendiri lawatan eksklusif dan pakej pengiklanan bersepadu kami dengan tawaran istimewa untuk anda. Semua ini percuma. Jangan tunggu lagi. Imbas kod tertera untuk mendaftar tempat anda. Jumpa nanti.
tolak.
Jan, sampai bila kita nak buat kerja ni?
Boleh kaya ke?
Syah, kalau kaya tu mudah, dah ramai dah orang kaya, kau tahu.
Kerja buat apa? Ni aku nak buka bisnes kopi untuk kita ni.
Bisnes kopi?
Konsep bisnes kita ni mewah. Biji kopi tu sini kena rare.
Wow, kopi dia memang kau, guys.
Aku ada allergic peanut butter, faham?
Aku tu fikir apa kerja yang kita buat sekarang ni semua perangkap tau.
Kita kerja ke mana pun sama aja. Yang lainnya orang keliling kita.
Hidup you banyak tentangan bukan sebab nasib you kurang baik. Tapi perangai you macam...
Kopi, kafe ni bukan dunia aku dan bukan dunia kau juga. Encik Azmi bikin salah. Tapi kau tetap nak kejar kat cita-cita kau tu. Kau kejar.
Korang tak namakan lagi
Aku dah dapat idea dah ni. Nama kita...
Karnival Jom Heboh 2025 akan bermula di KL Base, Kuala Lumpur. Usahawan sekalian, sertai kami untuk kembangkan bisnes dan jenama anda kepada ratusan ribu pengunjung di seluruh Malaysia pada 30 Mei hingga 1 Jun ini. Jangan lepaskan peluang ini, hubungi kami sekarang.
Welcome back. 2 ships were detained along with sea-subsidized diesel worth over 13 million ringgit following a joint operation by the Marine Police in collaboration with the Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah on Saturday. During the raids, authorities also arrested 11 local individuals aged between 20 and 50 who were found on board the 2 vessels. Marine Police Region 4 Commander, Assistant Commissioner Nazri Ibrahim said the 2 vessels were caught carrying out illegal fuel transfer activities in the waters of Kota Kinabalu. The seizure involved a total of 78,500 litres of subsidized diesel. Since January, authorities in Sabah have detected 80 cases involving the illegal handling of controlled goods, resulting in seizures valued at over 28.61 million ringgit and the arrest of 107 individuals. Police have remanded a pickup truck driver suspected of being involved in a hit-and-run incident that injured a couple travelling on a motorcycle along the North-South Expressway on Saturday. A video of the incident uploaded to the Dashcam Malaysia Facebook page has since gone viral on social media. In a statement on Sunday, Kuala Lumpur Traffic Investigation and Enforcement Department JSPT Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Zamzuri Muhammad Isa said the incident occurred near the Jalan Duta Toll Plaza heading towards the city centre at around 2:30 p.m. Based on investigations, the motorcycle was travelling straight in the left lane when it was struck from the right by the pickup truck. It is believed that the vehicle was attempting to overtake another motorcycle but failed to avoid the victims and struck them from the right before speeding off. The impact caused both the motorcyclist and his pillion rider to be thrown from the vehicle, resulting in injuries. The rider, a 53-year-old man, suffered a fractured collarbone and ankle injuries. His wife, aged 49, sustained more serious injuries, including brain hemorrhaging, a fractured ankle, and multiple broken ribs on the right side. Both victims were admitted to the Sungai Buloh Hospital for treatment. The case is being investigated under the Road Transport Act for reckless and dangerous driving. A man accused of stabbing his 11-year-old son in Pasir Mas, Kelantan, has had his remand extended by 1 week until Friday. The incident occurred on May 2nd at Kampong Banggol Chedol, where the boy was allegedly stabbed twice by his father using a vegetable knife, injuring the boy in the chest and abdomen. The victim is now conscious and in stable condition, but remains under treatment at Hospital Raja Perempuan Zainab II in Kota Baru. Investigators believe the attack may have stemmed from a domestic dispute between the man and his wife. Authorities say the suspect has a long history of mental health issues and has been receiving psychiatric treatment since 2008. Pasir Mas District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Kama Azural Muhammad confirmed that the remand extension is to facilitate further investigation under Section 307 of the Penal Code for attempted murder. At the Kuala Terengganu Magistrates Court, a cosmetics trader was charged with trafficking over 1 kilogram of shabu. 36-year-old Abdul Rahman Muhammad Hussein nodded to indicate that he understood the charge when it was read before Magistrate Ifah Nabiha Muhammad Ishak. No plea was recorded as the case falls under the jurisdiction of the High Court. Rahman allegedly committed the offence at around 8:40 p.m. on April 28 at the shop located in the Paya Keladi commercial area. The case has been fixed for mention on July 21st. Earlier reports stated that the accused was arrested in possession of drugs, with total seizures including assets valued at over 1 million ringgit. Russia proposes direct peace talks after 3 years of war. The details when Nightline returns.
Kau tak payahlah tolak aku. Kau tak tahu nanti.
Aku tak tolak.
Jan, sampai bila kita nak buat kerja ni?
Boleh kaya ke?
Syah, kalau kaya tu mudah, dah ramai dah orang kaya, kau tahu.
Kerja buat apa? Ni aku nak buka bisnes kopi untuk kita ni.
Bisnes kopi?
Konsep bisnes kita ni mewah. Biji kopi tu sini kena rare.
Wow, kopi dia memang kau, guys.
Aku ada allergic peanut butter, faham?
Aku tu fikir apa kerja yang kita buat sekarang ni semua perangkap tu.
Kita kerja ke mana pun sama aja. Yang lainnya orang keliling kita.
Hidup you banyak tentangan bukan sebab nasib you kurang baik. Tapi perangai you macam...
Kopi, kafe ni bukan dunia aku dan bukan dunia kau juga. Encik Azmi bikin salah. Tapi kau tetap nak kejar kat cita-cita kau tu. Kau kejar.
korang tak namakan lagi
Aku dah dapat idea dah ni. Nama kita...
A woman's spirit is boundless. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smile. Because this season, we're louder than ever. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. Women's Talk is here to empower and inspire you. Join us on Women's Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m. only on TV3 and stream now on Thursday.
Hari Ahad malamlah paling best nak layan filem-filem blockbuster di TV3. Syarani! Cintan-cintun luar angkasa pun ada.
It's gonna be okay.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Berdebar tak berdebar ni? Layan filem-filem hebat Mei ini di TV3 Blockbuster dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
On to the foreign front. Tragedy in Sri Lanka, where the death toll has risen to 21 after a passenger bus plunged off a cliff in the country's central highlands. The vehicle, carrying more than 50 people, veered off a winding mountain road in Abdullah district early on Sunday before tumbling into a deep ravine. Emergency teams worked through the night to rescue survivors and recover bodies, while at least 30 others have been hospitalized, some in critical condition. Police suspect speeding and poor road conditions may have contributed to the crash, which is now under investigation. South Korea on Sunday has reinstated Kim Moon-soo as its presidential candidate just hours after dropping him and reopening the nomination process. The dramatic turnaround came after the party polled its members over whether to replace Kim with former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, who had entered the race late, derailing the party's consensus. Kim welcomed the decision and pledged to build a big tent coalition to take on Liberal frontrunner Lee Jae-myung in the June 3rd election. The decision to reinstate Kim comes as the Conservatives race to finalize their candidate before the registration deadline this Sunday.
정당한 절차와 정당한 경선을 거쳐 선출.
In other news, Russian President Vladimir Putin has proposed direct talks with Ukraine in Istanbul on May 15 in a move that could shift the dynamics of the ongoing conflict. In a statement issued on Sunday, Putin said the talks would focus on finding a peaceful solution to the war. The proposal comes as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky faces pressure to negotiate, while Western allies continue to support Ukraine with military aid and sanctions against Russia. While the Ukrainian government has yet to respond officially, analysts believe the proposal could mark a turning point in the conflict if both sides agree to the talks. Switching to sports now, the 2025 MotoGP Rookies Cup. A dramatic crash early in the first lap was not enough to stop Malaysian teen racer Muhammad Hakim Danish Ramli from finishing second at the Le Mans circuit in France on Sunday. Hakim started from pole position in wet conditions for race 2, but crashed as early as the first lap in an incident that also involved race 1 winner Brian Uriarte. Refusing to give up, the 17-year-old showed extraordinary fighting spirit as he rejoined the race and went on to finish as runner-up. Hakim crossed the line 12.361 seconds behind race winner Bernard Fernandez, who clocked the time of 25.46.423. The result sees the Terengganu-born rider stay on top of the overall standings with 80 points, 23 ahead of second place Fernandez. The third race of the competition is scheduled to take place in Aragon, Spain on June 7 and 8. Still on MotoGP, the 2025 French Grand Prix, Johan Zarco became the first Frenchman in 71 years to win the feature race after the LCR Honda riders' decision to start with wet tyres paid off handsomely on Sunday. In a chaotic race where riders swapped the bikes multiple times due to rain, Zarco won by a huge margin of nearly 20 seconds ahead of Ducati's Marc Marquez, while Gresini Racing's Fermin Aldiger came third for his first MotoGP podium. Zarco was 17 on lap 1 when he narrowly avoided a collision and lost places as he went off track. However, as confusion and chaos reigned in the rain, the Frenchman slowly made his way through the grid before taking the lead and never looking back. Zarco is the first Frenchman to win at the iconic circuit since Pierre Monneray in 1954, and the 34-year-old celebrated by performing a backflip off the barrier in front of the grandstand as the fans chanted his name. Turning to squash, the World Championships in Chicago, the United States. National players made a strong start to their campaign on Sunday, with 4 out of 6 Malaysian representatives powering into the second round. In the women's category, national ace S. Sivasanggari faced a bit of resistance and was pushed harder than expected by Spain's Marta Dominguez, but came through with a 11-4, 11-5, 16-18, 11-2 win in the first round. The 26-year-old Kedah-born will take on world 17 seed Sana Ibrahim of Egypt in the second round. Also advancing was Rachel Arnold, who overcame Egypt's Noor Haikal with a 11-9, 11-9, 4-11, 11-3 victory. However, Rachel faces a tough challenge next as she's set to face 4th seed Olivia Weaver of the United States. World number 26 Ira Azman also progressed to the second round after defeating England's Tori Malik 11-8, 10-12, 11-7, 11-8 to set up a meeting against world number 12 Salma Hani of Egypt. In the men's category, world number 10 Ng Yen Yao eased past England's Patrick Rooney, ranked 53rd with an 11-8, 11-5, 11-6 win. The world number 10, who entered the third round of last year's World Meet in Cairo, will play Pakistan's world number 58 Asim Khan in the second round. That concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as more than 3,000 Bolivians gathered in La Paz to play Andean music known as Toqueda in an attempt to break a world record. With that, I'm Zahir, Kelvin Abdullah. Thank you for watching and stay safe.